Hello, everybody. Welcome to College of Lore. My name is Kate.
And I'm Jill.
And we are joined again today by Gabrielle down below me here. And we also have Nancy in the pink square down there. Um,
Hi.
Hi. We're really excited to be back again. We're going to finish up our Kids on Brooms. This is Kids on Brooms Part 2. We've got our characters. We're going to play the game. I guess I'll do the little blurb about the charity before we get started. So this is a charity stream. Part 2 is still a charity stream. I think that the links are all still down below. Please let me know if they're not there. But we are supporting with donations the Hey Cis podcast, which is a local Nova Scotian podcast that covers LGBTQ topics related to like gender identity, and it focuses specifically on like maritime issues and people. And we're gonna raise money and support them with our stream today. Thank you for posting the link, Jill.
And we should also mention that we did a draw for the first of our Kids on Brooms streams. And the people who donated were put in a little draw, and we chose a winner. Well, we, drew a winner.
Randomly draw.
And it was randomly drawn. And it was Lumpy Monster, who was very generous with his donation. And so thank you for everyone who donated. And we are doing another draw today. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kate.
We are. Yep. So if you donate today, your name will go into that same kind of draw. And the prize is a $25 gift card to Cape and Cowl Comics and Collectibles, which is a great local nerd shop. That's the official term, I think, is a nerd shop. And that's a really great trans-run local business as well. So we're supporting them with our gift certificate prizes.
Yeah.
We went there the other day to pick up a couple Christmas gifts as well for the boys. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, I guess we're about to get into this game.
Yay!
In our first Kids on Brooms stream, we generated our world and we started our character creation, and we did up some finishing touches off screen. So I think I'll do just a little intro to the school we came up with and a little bit of flavor, and then we'll get into character introductions.
Sounds good.
So the school we came up with is Maplewood Academy. We've got it spelled with like an A in there to be extra Canadian. It's situated up high in the Rocky Mountains out west, and it's almost always winter. Yeah, Maplewood Academy. It's very cold up in these up on top of this mountain, and it's also magically concealed, so even if someone's rock climbing and heading up this mountain, it would not be easily found by mundane people. Only magical people would know it was there. The school has been a hustle and bustle lately as the semester is coming to a close, and it is you're having your final classes of the semester today. And as you're walking to your class, you notice that the landmark lumberjack statue, who every day has a new sweater, has had the same sweater for a couple of days now. And maybe the first day you wouldn't notice, but by now you're noticing that bright red-green clashing plaid has been the same all week. You don't have much time to think about that, however, as you're heading to class. But you also notice, since this class is your survival wilderness class, so it's outdoors near the forest, and you notice that the evergreen tree, which isn't an evergreen, it is supposed to be a deciduous tree, meaning it should change with the seasons, but it's always green, always has leaves. But the leaves now are looking brown, and they're not green anymore. The leaves are falling off of it, and that's very strange for this magical tree.
Right.
So you're heading off to class. So let's do a quick introduction of each of your characters. And since Kate is taking a drink of something, I will start with you.
Okay, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay.
Definitely not thirsty. So my character, as you might have learned last time, is called Marlowe, but I've decided that her last name is Hartnett. So Marlowe Hartnett. Marlowe is a reluctant oracle. Let's see. She's an underclass student, which basically means younger than 14. So, did we decide that we were like first year students?
Mm-hmm.
Ray and I are first year students. So this would be kind of like the end of our first semester here at Maplewood Academy. I'm underclassed. My favorite class is potions. Some things here I kind of forget what they mean, actually. So I have a treasure hunter as my strength and psychic link.
So the treasure hunter trait is pretty cool, where it's if you are you can spend one of your adversity tokens to find a mundane but useful item in your surroundings.
Okay. Useful item.
So you're kind of really aware. You're aware of your surroundings, and you're really good at MacGyvering things.
Right. And psychic link is that I can communicate back and forth with my
familiar.
My familiar, which is a bat.
Yes.
Yeah. So my strengths are treasure hunter, psychic link. My flaws are that I'm irrational and I'm cursed. Do you want me to talk about my wand and everything?
Yeah. Good. So in our first session, we didn't get to wand creation or broom choosing, but we did that off screen. So maybe a quick roundup of what your things are.
So my wand is a dogwood wand with lion's mane core. Yeah. And I chose the broom Heartwood's Helper, which allows me to give somebody an adversity token when I succeed on a check. Just like any other broom ability, it's only when I'm actually flying the broom, but that seemed cool. Yeah, my motivation is to learn to control these visions that sort of plague me. We talked about last session how I'm a reluctant oracle because the experience of these like prophetic visions that I get, it impairs my day-to-day living sometimes. So like experiencing them kind of causes me to, it's sort of like having a seizure in a way, and I kind of shuts me down. So I want to learn to control these visions. I'm scared of the dark and silence. Yeah. Anything else? I know Ray because we both love potions class. And have become friends that way. And I don't know Nicholas very well, but Nicholas is like a pretty well-known athlete in the school, and Nicholas is a mentor of ours for this wilderness class that we're about to get into. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
me.
All right. How about you go next, Gabrielle, since Ray is a close friend of Marlowe.
Yeah, so my character's name is Ray Anderson. Basically the same age as Marlowe. Yeah, a lot of her fears because she... What was the specific name for? What class am I?
Oh.
Firstborn caster?
Yeah,
right.
Firstborn caster, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So some of her fears is getting in over her head or like losing control of her magic or potentially like hurting somebody. But she's very curious because this whole world is new to her and she wants to branch a lot more into it and, discover this like world that she never really knew. She also has the Heartswood Helper as her broomstick.
Oh!
Maybe another reason her and Marlowe are good friends.
Yes.
Her wand is ironwood, and the core is a hippo's tooth. which me and Jill homebrewed that it's a house hippo too.
Oh, cute.
Just to have that little, again, that
Canadian bit,
Yeah.
Which makes sense because,
familiar.
like, a regular hippo's tooth couldn't fit inside of a wand, but a house hippo's tooth.
Yeah. And I found out earlier today, actually, that there is a little TTRPG where you are playing and discovering, or I can't remember if you are a house hippo or if you're discovering house hippos, but we're definitely gonna have to play that on stream at some point.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
It's
awesome.
adorable if you're a house hippo. Oh my gosh. But yeah, her familiar is a bearded vulture, which we discussed as well. And her favorite class is also potions, which comes full circle. I think that's everything.
All right, so Nicholas, last but not least.
Yes. My character is Nicholas Belmont. His type of character is a bullhead muscles. He's an upper class mate. His favorite class is the survival class. He has also his broom is the bolting 4000, so it makes him go fast. His wand is the maple wood wand because I thought it would be fitting for the school. And,
it's like he's kind of what's the term? It's not patriotic. Is that a fitting term for that? Kind of like you've got school spirit.
School spirit,
and it's all
yeah.
down to
School
your
spirit.
wand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his score is a wolf. I think. I thought it would be fitting because his familiar is a husky.
Yeah.
Cute.
His familiar's name is Loki.
Aww.
Oh, cute.
So besides that, his fears is he's not a good swimmer. He's afraid of drowning, and he's not very good in water. Am I missing anything?
No, I think that's a pretty good intro.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big hearted dummy.
Yeah. Friendly and massive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He looks scarier than he is.
Mm-hmm. And you also mentioned that he is sort of like the he's into sports. Did you mention that he's into sports and that he's like the sort of star?
Yeah, he's one of the athletes in the shovelboard competition at school. He's one of the top athletes, and he wants to make it international.
Right.
Perfect.
Shovelboarding is the sport that we made up for the school.
Yeah. All right, and it's where you've got your broom and you're on your broom, but you swap out the like bristles for a shovel head.
Yeah.
So you convert your broom into a shovel, and then you're flying around on that. It's adorable.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Okay. So today, you're all heading for your survival wilderness class, and you're excited because your Professor Spruce, says that she had something quite special to show you today, and you're all thinking it's probably some kind of large animal.
Ooh.
Because there's been hints dropped. It's quite crisp today, quite cold, a little bit of flurries, but blue sky with a couple clouds, but quite cold today, so you're all bundled up quite a lot. Like my hair scarf.
Yes.
You're all heading to class. At class, you're all bundled up and you're standing around the forest. And Professor Spruce is nowhere to be seen. She does, however, come out of the woods with a leash, and she's leading something. And it's quite large, and it's got its toes turned in, and it's white, and it looks kind of like a polar bear at first glance, but its fur almost has like a rainbow-esque glimmer to it when the light hits it just right. And it's wearing a harness around its middle. So she's walking it out, and this large bear-like creatures coming with her. And she says, everyone, stand about 10 feet back. I'm going to take the harness off the bear, and then I will show you how, in the wild, how if you were to come across this polar bider, that you will be able to restrain it while keeping it and yourselves quite safe. So she approaches the side of the bear, and she's like, okay, just stand back a little bit, but make sure you're close enough to see and hear me. So I think, Nicholas, that you would have seen this creature before, because you're kind of in this class as a little bit of a teacher's assistant, and you're mentoring the younger students, and you're kind of like there to be a little bit back up, but also to like you've been partnered with both Ray and Marlo, I think we decided, and there's a couple of other upperclassmen that are doing something similar. So all the students are excited, and this is the biggest animal that you've seen so far. This is the first semester. You haven't really been around these wild animals much. And she stands up, and she has her wand in one hand, and with the other hand she takes the harness off of this bear, and 2 large legs on either side come out like spider legs that just bend out from this bear, and it raises itself up to about 10 feet off the ground, and its 2 claws, now no longer needing to be supporting its weight, are free to slash wherever it may. She takes a stance, a strong stance, and she says, trippity-doo-dah, and blasts, or attempts to blast with her wand. And you all recognize this as a tripping spell, but nothing happens. Nothing comes out of the wand. And the bear stomps forward on its spider-like white legs, glimmering in this sunlight, this kind of rainbow shimmer. What do you do? Your fellow students start screaming as this bear advances on your beloved professor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm behind Marlo.
Yeah, we're like, and no, but like,
I was clinging to the
so
back of Marlo.
Nick, it's like Nicholas with Marlo's little head poking out, and then Ray's little head poking out, like.
I think Nicholas would try to do the same spell, probably, as a teacher to see if it works for him too.
Okay, so since you're a bit more advanced in this, and I think you probably have done this class before, this is our first time using the mechanic in the book of finding out the difficulty of casting a spell. So I think this could naturally happen. You're trying to trip something. I don't think that's a very difficult thing. The area of effect, I'd say it's probably small. So it's like tiny or small. Small being the size of a person or smaller. So you're just trying to get at the legs. So it's almost like you're throwing a person-sized log at this thing's legs. So I'm going to say it's a small effect. So it's natural. So it's a +1. It's tiny, or I'm sorry, it's small, so it's +3 to your difficulty. You're doing it to be instantaneous, so that's a +0, because you're just trying to do it as an immediate effect, and that is on another chart, so that's getting a +0. And I'd say that you have at least cast this spell before. Whether or not you've mastered it, you can argue with me right now if you would like. But I'd say you'd at least cast it before. Do you think he would have mastered this spell?
I think if he took the class last year, it seems probable that you would have had to master the class to be a student aid for the teacher.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. So this one's a fairly easy. So you just need to beat a 4. And this would be, and then we have to decide on what kind of spell you are casting it with, like what your,
what you're
like
doing?
which stat you're using. Yeah. So you're doing a kind of like a bit of an offensive kind of spell. So I think you would be using your fight for this.
Fight. Okay.
Yeah. So you're trying to beat a 4.
Is it Is it like
So-
Kids on Bikes, Jill, where, like, if Nancy wanted to, she could... I mean, I'm sure that fight is probably one of your best stats, so you're probably going to want to go with that. But, like, if you wanted to, you can argue, like, well, I want to use my charm because I'm going to conjure some image that lures it away or something. Like, you could always, like, argue for how to use a different stat if you want to. Yeah.
So if we're going with a tripping spell specifically, that's more of an attack. And in the rules, it's like an attack spell would be a fight spell. But if you were saying, well, I want to use a different spell, and I want to like blind this creature because I know it has a weakness to bright light, then you're using a different kind of spell stat thing.
Okay.
So you said like +3 and +1 and +0 and
so yes,
whatever.
you're trying to beat a 4. So you're gonna roll your fight die.
Okay.
Whatever bonuses you have, including your wand and your age group.
Would it be okay? So the one would be the that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So
on your sheet, you should have like one of your die assigned to that. What die do you use for your fight skill?
A D12.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I just roll 11, and for my stats, I have 1, and for magic bonus, it's a 1. So it would be 13. So 13. I guess I'm good.
Yeah.
So that is +9. Like you're 9 over.
Yeah.
The target. So you've succeeded quite impressively, because there's also a chart to tell me how good you succeed.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So I'll say that not only do you successfully cast the spell, so you point the spell and you call out trippity-doo-dah, and the magic comes out, and what does it look like when you cast it? Do you want to give it some flavor?
Yeah, I imagine that it would look like some sparkly blue gust of wind. And then as it rolls, it becomes more dense and just hits like almost like a wave.
Okay, perfect. So this magical wave that you've created comes forward and it knocks into the polar biter's legs and it falls to the ground. And it looks like a little bit dazed from this, and I think that's a little added benefit because you cast it so well that it actually is a little bit dazed, so it doesn't immediately start getting back up. Marlo and Ray, what do you do? So the students around you are panicking. They're freaking out a bit. The teacher is shaking her wand. She's trying to get it to work, and nothing's happening.
I think Marlo is gonna say, Professor Spruce, we should get out of here. And try and
okay,
I don't think that she would kind of look to the professor about what should happen now that this is now that the spell has been successfully cast. Maybe she can just bind it and it'll be fine. So I'm just, kind of hesitant, but not kind of wanting to get out of there, but gonna just follow the lead of the professor.
Okay, perfect. So she's gonna say, Marlo, good idea. Lead the students back towards the school. I'll handle this creature. And she's going to pocket her wand and attempt to. She's going to try and wrap the legs back up. Ray, what do you do?
I'm following Marlo.
Okay. So you guys are just
Bruce. I grab your arm. I'm come on.
I'm still holding on to you, but you grab me anyways. I'm okay.
Oh, I was so excited to see that we had a comment, but it's just a bot.
Yeah, it's a scary bot. How do you
ban?
Block that? Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so you two make it to safety, and with Nicholas's help, the professor is able to wrap the binding back around the polar bear, or polar biter, sorry.
I love that.
And the creature seems to calm down significantly once it's got like the binding around it. And it's kind of like, you know, when you pick up a cat and you want to hold it really close to you and make sure it's got firm pressure so that the cat is like calm in your arms instead of like holding it really loose so it's like flailing all over the place.
Yes.
You get that kind of similar feeling, like it finds comfort in or like the thunder shirt for Roz.
Yeah,
I guess it's like it finds comfort in
or
hug.
Yeah, or babies like that too. Like it's like
swaddled.
It's like swaddled. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell that it has calmed down a lot, and since you ushered the students away and got all their screaming little faces out of the way,
yeah.
The polar biter calms down, and she's able to. She calls out, "Meet at the front gates. I will be back in a moment." And she leads it off and lets it go and does all the good stuff with that.
Yeah.
So before she comes back, do any of you want to say anything to each other?
I'll just say, oh, that was scary. I mean, this class was a bit boring before, but that was like a little bit too far in the other direction, I think.
You found this class boring?
Well, up until now, we've just been doing like, you know, boring prep stuff. We haven't gotten to really see anything cool.
Oh, is Nicholas part of that conversation?
Yes, yeah.
Like, it's not boring.
I will take boring over whatever just happened.
Is that, by the way, just as a question, is that normal? Is that something that usually happens?
You have never seen Professor Spruce unable to cast a spell before.
What?
You've never had to actually assist a professor in a dangerous situation ever.
I wonder what happened. Maybe her wand is broken.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never seen. Usually, she's like the fastest. Like,
yeah.
Like it's very weird that it happened.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness that you were there and knew the spell.
Well, I mean, wasn't me. It would be somebody else. But he says
yeah.
that. He's
really
like,
oh, please go on. I mean, it's yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. And she was like, no, it was really impressive. You did so good. I'm so glad that you're our mentor. I feel so safe when you're around.
Oh, go on.
Right, standing there quiet.
You're like, yeah.
Out of like a Ziploc baggie of just snacks that you just have now.
Nicholas is gonna ask them if they're okay. Pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. It was scary, but everything's under control, so.
Okay. So by this time, Professor Spruce comes back, and she looks rattled. You can kind of get the impression that nothing like this has ever happened to her before. So she comes back and she says, "Is everyone okay? Are you all right?" Mm-hmm. And all the other students are like, and they look kind of shook up. But the upperclassmen look a little like the other upperclassmen in the group are clearly hiding their jitters and they're acting like they were never afraid, kind of a thing. But they were screaming just like the rest of them were in that moment. Yeah. And Professor Spruce looks at Nicholas and says, "Thank you for your aid back there. You did wonderful. I'll be sure to I'll be sure to let the headmaster know that you went above and beyond for this class. So, well done." And she says, so that'll be it for your classes this semester. How many of you are going to be around for the Christmas holidays? And almost none of the other students raise their hand, but you three seem to be the only three that are actually having to stay around for this holiday. And she says, all right, okay, well, make sure that while you're here, the professors will be here, will be in our wing, and she gestures toward the wing that is closest to the forest. And make sure you stick around your dorms and to the classrooms, but just do not go near that forest over the break, and just stay safe. And Nicholas, make sure that if you are using the shovelboarding track, to just lock up after you're done.
Okay.
But I trust you with it, so just, don't let anyone go unattended. Just make sure you're always in a group. Yes, Marlo.
Professor Spruce, what happened back there?
Oh, she's like,
Why?
She was like dreading that someone would ask this question.
Why didn't your spell work? It seemed like your spell didn't work.
All right. Well, Marlo, you stay behind. Everyone, just head back to class. I know you're eager to get going. You've got to pack, so go on. And she shoos kind of everybody else away. And I'm assuming the three of you stay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, hey,
You got it.
And she kind of looks, and she's kind of like, do either of you have somewhere else you need to go? Okay. All right. Listen. Something has been going on lately, and I don't think no students have been affected. Don't worry about that. You're all fine. But several of the other teachers, and I probably shouldn't even be telling you this, but since Nicholas just saved our butts back there, several of the teachers have I'm assuming it's temporarily. I mean, I can't see this happening for a very long time, but have been having some issues with casting spells. And it seems to have affected me, but I'll be going to the nurse as soon as I make sure you're all safe and heading back to your dorms.
Like, step back a little bit.
I don't think it's contagious, but it has been targeting specifically teachers. I'm sure but that by the time Christmas break is over, it'll be all sorted out. I'm sure the next semester will have a fresh start and it will all be fine.
Mm-hmm.
With the teachers are investigating, and pardon?
There's something wrong with the school's magic.
Oh, the school's I'm sure it'll be fine. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Do not worry.
I assume this scene, the backdrop is like the dying evergreen tree, right?
Yeah,
that's
just,
clearly
crumbling.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong.
It's gonna be fine. Absolutely fine. Just do not worry. You're gonna have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
But off you go though. Like, let's see. Right. Okay. So she's like, I know you want to have your shovelboarding practice this evening, Nicholas, but don't worry. I'm sure it'll all be fine. But maybe it would be best if the three of you stick together. Nicholas, I don't think you should be practicing alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
If you,
if
you say so, bro.
Yeah. I would keep an eye on each other and take care of each other, because normally the teachers would be very involved in all the students that are remaining, but we're going to be very busy trying to sort this out. So just stick together, take care of each other, and if you need us, we're still going to be here. We're just having some casting issues.
Okay.
Okay. So, what would you three like to do? Would you like is your interest piqued to investigate, or do you want to just get on with your break and go off to your practice? Would you like to have some holiday-related situations?
Well, I mean, my curiosity is piqued. I don't know about you two.
Ray's sad about the tree.
Yeah, like what is going on? Because
it is sad.
The tree is dying. The lumberjack, his wardrobe has become extremely limited. And
I don't even think Nicholas noticed any of those things. Maybe
like,
noticed the tree, but
Well, I
he
can't
didn't
go to
think twice
practice
about
alone.
it.
The priorities.
yeah. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Should we like figure out what's going on?
I mean, we could ask another teacher, but I'm pretty sure what Professor Spruce said is just like.
Yeah, we don't want her to get in trouble.
I wonder if I could grab a leaf off of that's fallen from the ground and do some kind of potion shenanigans with it to like.
Yeah, definitely.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you walk up to pick one of the leaves from the ground, you do notice that there are some white roots that look like they should be underground, but they're kind of poking up and touching the roots of the tree. They look like little like potato eye roots or something like that. Just like they're coming up out of the ground and they're like intertwining with the roots of the tree.
Eat that.
Do I have like a little knife or something?
Yeah, can you pull a
Yeah, you're in charge of your backpack. I'm sure that you would have things that you would use.
So we were just in wilderness class too. So I assume there's sort of like a basic wilderness class kit that we need to have on us when we're in that class.
For like herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little small.
Yeah.
You can easily have it back.
So I want
probably have a Swiss Army knife that has like all the normal stuff, but then some weird magical ones too.
Yeah.
Swiss Army wand.
Yeah. Like I want a baby wand. Oh my god. It's like the toothpick, but it's a wand. You know? The toothpick in a Swiss Army knife. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to grab like, I don't know, a handful of the dead leaves, but also I want to try and like cut some of this little pokey-outy root and put it into like a potions vial that I have. I don't want to touch it. So I want to try and like cut it and like put it into
like
a vial.
tweezers
Yeah, if you don't have gloves, Ray will just hand you her gloves and be like, here.
Yeah.
All right. You successfully gather those materials.
Okay. Cool.
So you head to the potions classroom?
Yeah.
Okay. So the potions classroom is empty at this point. There's all the students are off packing, and the instructors, the teachers are busy. So you have free reign. There's the cabinet with other ingredients. You've got the classroom potion spellbook, but you also have your own that you carry with you for potion class. There's vials everywhere and little beakers and burners and everything you could want in this classroom.
So, do I know of a potion that might help me like determine the nature of either the root? Yeah.
Totally. You're flipping through the large textbook and you come across kind of a blend of mundane science and magic where it's kind of like getting you the scientific method but through magic.
Sure.
So you can tell me what that's like.
Like, what do you mean? Like what the potion is like?
Like, yeah, you tell me.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Fill in some of your story here.
Sure. So, this potion, I don't know exactly what the ingredients are, but they're just like things that we would have in the potions closet here in the classroom. And so the idea is you create this potion and you can put a material into it and it will change color to indicate something about like the composition of that material, so like whether it's magical or not, and then some of the like chemical composition of it as well, so what kinds of chemicals are present in it, like what its chemical makeup is. Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to go to our magic little chart here. So I think this is something that could be natural. I don't know why. This chart's a bit strange, but I think this is a fairly like natural thing that could happen, is like a chemical reaction. You've got it well thought out. Area effect is a book or smaller, so that's only a +1. It's a very small effect you're trying to do. I think like you're making it and it'll take at least a minute to happen, so that's just adding another 1. And would you think that with your semester that you would have witnessed it, cast it, or mastered this? Or that you've never seen it before? Those are the options. You've either never seen it or have any experience with it, you've witnessed it, you've cast it, or you've mastered it.
I don't know. What do you think, Ray?
I feel like this is something we probably would have done a few times.
In first year? I feel like it's a bit advanced.
So at least witnessed?
Sure. Yeah, let's go for witnessed. But
Okay.
I don't think we've made this potion ourselves before. It's only one semester in, right?
Right. So you're trying to beat a 6.
Okay.
Oh my god, my cat's name is 6 and she just meowed at me when I said that.
She's like, I'm here. I'm here.
Don't beat me. Okay, so we need to choose a stat for this check. So it's not fight. I don't think it would be. So
brains.
Okay, brains is a stat generally used to cast magic when you want to reveal something hidden or understand something mysterious.
Okay,
so I think brains is
that seems right.
Brain, yes, that's right.
Okay, so you're trying to beat a 6.
Okay, it's a D20.
Oh, perfect.
It's a beautiful shell D20.
Ooh, fun.
Okay. Ooh, I'm so nervous. Ooh, it's a 20.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's 14 higher? Okay.
Wow.
The character succeeds smoothly and easily.
Heck yeah.
It looks like the character is just showing off. Or that, like, it happens so effortlessly for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you've concocted this and you've put it in several different vials so that you can kind of do a control and then like a one for the leaf, one for the root, and you mix them up. And you discover from your results and you compare it to the book, and it's almost like intuitive for you. You're very much like you almost know the results before you even read what they're supposed to mean.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that the leaves are decidedly non-magical.
Yeah.
They are just normal leaves, which is strange as they were magical leaves earlier in the semester.
Yeah.
The roots seem to be almost extra magical than you would expect.
Okay.
They've got but what's weird, while you watch the result, you mix it and it shows like a bloom of the magical color. So maybe the mixture's blue and you see this like red blooming into it. And then it goes and goes back into the root.
Oh. Okay.
Eat that.
So the root is like sucking the magic out of things. That's what I think. That's my hypothesis.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
We need
to the root of the issue here.
Oh my god, Jill. We almost just made the exact same pun at the same time. Wow. Well, we need to tell somebody about this, do we not? Shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
going ahead and just starting digging is not a good idea.
I mean, that's what would happen in like a movie or a book. The kids would be like, "Let's go find the source of the roots."
Go dig!
But I'm like, yeah, maybe we should tell like an adult about this.
Probably
the roots are affecting the tree. How is it affecting the teacher?
I don't know, but they should at least know about the tree, right?
Yeah, it might not be related, but
Yeah.
Can we stop at the statue?
to be fair, it probably is.
Ooh, good call. Let's go to the statue and see if there's any little rooties.
Oh yeah.
Or anything else that shouldn't be there that is.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So you head out to the statue, and the statue is fairly close to the teacher's wing and the forest. And you walk over to the statue, and it also has little roots that are climbing up the outside of this statue.
Okay.
Cool.
What if we go to the outside of the building where it's touching, where the teacher's wing, and see what we see there?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So while you're going around, do you guys have your brooms on you? Are you like flying to your locations, or did you leave your brooms in your rooms, or?
Well,
I figured we were walking.
how big is campus though? Because we might bring them with us, even though we're just walking right now.
Okay.
Also, I want to use them, so.
Right. So you have them on you, but you're just like they're strapped to your back, kind of thing.
I think
Yeah.
because can't like the school grounds isn't. Is it massive? I don't know. Would we be flying?
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. Like if you went from one end to the other end, it would probably take you like at least like 10 minutes to
Okay.
walk it. Like
Well,
it would
then-
be like it's a very large, expansive campus, and like there's like pedways between the different buildings. Like if you wanted to stay indoors all the time, because like in the winter it can get even colder and harsher. So there, but you would, if you're going outside, you're going like, a decent walk.
I think like the brooms are like the bikes, right? So we would be
Yeah.
riding around on our brooms. I think.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Nicholas would take any occasions to be on his broom.
Okay. So right now you're walking with your broom strapped to your back, or you're
No,
or
not
you're
if
brooming.
not if it's gonna take more than like 30 seconds to walk there, right?
Okay. So you fly over, and I'm assuming you land so that you can kind of investigate the routes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As your feet touch the ground, as you're landing on the broom, the ground crackles, and you do notice that there are roots, but a crack just spreads along the ground, and a vast hole just under your feet shows up. But instead of collapsing in, it blows upwards, and debris and rocks get like displaced as this great wind blows up through this hole that is just opened up at your gentle touch.
Yikers.
Yeah, and you can kind of see in this hole, and it's kind of it blows, and then the wind kind of calms, and it's just kind of like a constant like breeze coming out, but not the same like burst as started the hole.
Wow. Well.
Okay, we gotta go to the. Ray's done. Ray's like,
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Oh my
I'm
God.
good.
Well, we're right by the.
So,
Oh, and so did we see little roots like touching the building? Yeah.
Yeah, there's roots, coming up, and it looks like you can see down this hole that the roots have come up all through the rock, and they're like in through the rock and in dispersed, and you're assuming that it's probably even under the school.
Maybe it's coming from the tunnels underneath the school. The mythical.
I regret
Anyway.
not going
What did you say?
I regret not going home for Christmas break.
I think we should go tell a teacher and see what happens if we do that. Should we tell Professor Sprout?
Professor Spruce?
Spruce?
Yeah.
Oh, Sprout is... That's... Okay. Yes, Professor Spruce.
All right, so you get back on. So tell me what you do. Narrate to me.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to ride brooms in the academy?
Sure. Yeah. I don't see why not.
Cool.
I mean, I'm sure to be kind of tricky, as there's walls and statues and hanging tapestries and things like that. But
maybe we'll have to
pretty
roll
it's
to
more
see
like,
if we miss that stuff.
I'm pretty sure some teachers are fine with it, but some other teachers is like, no flying in the hallways.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Right now, like, all the students are kind of leaving, so it will be quieter, so maybe they won't be as upset if we fly around in there.
Do we know where to, like, find Professor Spruce, usually?
She said she was going to the nurse's office.
Oh, yeah, let's try there. Because that wasn't that long ago still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like
half an hour.
Or no, it'd be longer than that because you were brewing a potion and
like
getting
an
all
hour.
That. So it's probably been like a couple of hours, maybe total.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see if she's still there, and if not, then the nurse will know maybe where she went. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head to the medical office. And the nurse is there, and he is cleaning up, and he's like just kind of packing up things that, hoping he won't need anything over the holidays. So he's just kind of cleaning up his final thing because all the students are leaving. Yeah. So, what's his name? Nurse Feelwell.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so he's in there and he's putting stuff away. What do you do?
Say, Nurse Feelwell, we're looking for Professor Spruce. It's important.
Important? Are you all right? Do you need medical aid?
No, we're looking for...
I've been practicing my mundane skills. Do any of you need stitches? And he's like...
Oh, God. No.
Bandage? Band aid?
No thanks. Well, you could put a Band-Aid on me if you want.
It's got like little dogs on it. Like, there you go.
Thank you.
All better.
I like it.
So you were looking for Professor Spruce?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. I'm assuming she went back to her to the professor's wing, but I wouldn't go there if you were thinking of heading there.
Why?
But we need to talk to one of the professor. There's a hole in the ground.
And some magic sucking roots.
Magic roots? Magic what?
Magic sucking roots.
Really?
Yeah. I show him like my little corked vial with the root sample in it.
My goodness, this looks like it means that the root is sucking the mesh.
Yes, that's what I concluded.
Did you make this did you do this yourself?
Yeah.
This is like second year quality. Well done.
Thank you.
Like in the corner.
Can I have another Band-Aid?
Yeah, of course. Here, this one's got little cats on it. All right. Well, you can just leave it to the professors. I'm sure they'll have it figured out. So we can just send a little letter over there. I don't think it's quite safe to go over there right now. They're trying to deal with this lack of magic. So where was the hole?
It's outside of the professor's wing. Yeah, it's outside of the teacher's wing. Between there and the woods, probably?
Oh, and it's got the roots coming out of it.
Yeah.
The tree has the roots and the statue has the roots.
All right. Well, I'll go. It's not quite safe for you. If these roots are all in there, they'll probably suck the magic right out of you. So let me take the message, and you've done very well.
Oh, thanks.
Good job, you three.
Okay.
And he heads over to tell the professors what you've discovered.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that you feel, job well done.
Yeah.
We've let them know.
Takes care of that.
Now you can guilt-free enjoy your vacation. So maybe you spend some time on the shovel boarding and maybe you do a bit of baking and play around with the potions, and a day goes by and you don't hear anything, and another day goes by and all the students have left and the halls are quiet, and this is your first Christmas here, Marlo and Ray.
Mm-hmm.
But Nicholas, you might have been around for a holiday before, and normally they have a few like little festive things going on, like the teachers might get together and put a little get together for the students that are remaining in the in the school. But you haven't seen any teachers. You haven't seen any other students either. It seems quite quiet. And as per Professor Spruce's instructions, I'm hoping that you do kind of keep an eye on each other.
Yeah.
But nobody else seems to be anywhere.
Yeah, usually there would be people at the cafeteria or whatever. There's no one.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't seen like any other people other than the three of us.
Right, since that last day.
Oh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
What should we do? Well, let's just like bring it up. So it's weird, right? Like, where is everybody?
Maybe we should go look at the teacher's lounge.
Yeah.
Teacher's wing, I mean.
Approach slowly.
I feel like that's a really bad idea. Really bad idea.
Oh. What should we...
Marlo,
Yeah.
what's your bat's name?
Oh. Good question. What about Pitch?
Why don't you see if Pitch can like fly down there
Oh, Pitchy.
and see if anyone's there?
Wait a second.
And,
Wait a second.
doesn't have to touch the ground.
Don't
So,
you
maybe
have a flying...
Ray is sitting there hugging her giant death bird like.
No. It makes sense because I have like a two-way telepathic connection with my
Exactly.
familiar. Okay, I see why.
Merlin's too dumb.
I see why you suggested that. Okay, so I'll tell Pitch that I would like him to scout out the teacher's wing, but if he sees anything that looks like this little root or anything scary at all, that he should come back immediately and not touch anything.
Or
because
feel some weird magical disturbances.
Right.
Like, this feels wrong. Come back.
Because the
push it.
familiars are magical as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea.
Okay. So you send Pitch forward, and do you tell me more? Do you go toward, you go to the kind of the middle area and then send him forward from there to fly in?
Yeah, good question.
In towards the teacher's building?
Yeah, where there's like a central area, and then there's like a teacher's wing, and then like our wing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we should stay on our wing just in case, because something's causing this. And I don't know if it's just me being paranoid, but it's we don't want them to know we're investigating it, whatever it is. We'll just stay here. A bat flying around is not suspicious.
Okay. So we'll do
you would
it.
know that between each section there are doors.
Oh.
But
That's
usually,
so
a lot of them are just empty hallways with no doors. But between the middle section and the teacher section, they have
So we're gonna have to
doors.
open that door. But we could use a spell to open the door from a distance. So we could stand on the other end of the main hallway. Use a spell to open the door. The bat can fly through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do that.
Perfect.
Cool.
Okay. So you gather your things, and you head out for this little adventure. Do you take what do you take with you for this day of investigation? Do you take your full backpack? Do you take your brooms?
Oh yeah.
Do you,
yeah.
And do you two have your familiars with you as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving him treats because I know I just called him dumb. And he's probably sorry.
It was for your own safety. Also, you did run into our car that time.
My favorite Ray also makes little homemade bird treats in the shape of fish, so it's just they look like goldfish crackers.
That is so cute.
Love it.
Okay. You enact your plan. So let's quickly do who's going to be casting the door holding open spell?
So is it metagaming? Oh, you go ahead, Gabrielle.
Is it a round knob or one of those sideways kind of latch knobs that you just push down?
Probably the second one. I feel like it would be kind of
Yeah. So the question is, can my familiar just open the door?
sit on the...
He's heavy, yeah.
I don't think he'd be able to pull it open though. Okay, we'll do... So you want to do maybe a grit roll? A magical grit roll? Or brawn? Let's see. It would be brawn. Brawn is generally used to cast magic when you want to move an object or keep something protected. So it would be a brawn roll for your familiar. So we'll use your stats. This could naturally happen, a bird able to...
Oh yeah.
It might border on unnatural though, because the strength required to physically open the door, I don't think would be a bird's wheelhouse. So I'm going to say it's unnatural. So that's a 3.
Okay.
Area of effect is it's just the knob mainly, but then also the
pulling the door. Yeah.
And that's bigger than a person, smaller than a classroom.
So do I have to do brawn or grit here?
Brawn is generally used to cast magic when you want to move an object or keep something protected. Grit is generally used to cast magic when you want to keep someone safe, either mentally or physically. Blocking your mind from being peered into, dispelling magic that's already been cast, or healing someone who has been hurt is grit.
Okay.
So we've got 3, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5. This is instantaneous, so that adds 0. And then I think that... So here, I'll let you decide this. Is this something that you've done before with your familiar? Is this something you've mastered? Something you've done before? Something you've cast before?
Something that we've done before.
So a lot? Have you mastered it, or is it just something you've done a couple times?
Mastering, no, just not a few times, a good handful of times.
So you're trying to beat a 9 altogether.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now, I fail.
You might not. You might not.
That is my brawn. That's my brawn roll.
Okay. If you get a 4, it explodes, or you get to roll again. If you get a 4.
So I do get a +1.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Which I feel like it doesn't explode if it's a +1 onto it. If I roll
a
3, and it's
exactly. It has to be. You have to roll a 4. Yeah.
You got this.
Okay. So first of all, you get an adversity token. So that's our first adversity token. So that's good.
Mark that down because we'll be able
So
to be able to use this.
Yep,
This is the thing about this system. It's it is really kind of good to try and do stuff that you think you're going to fail at, because then you can accumulate adversity tokens and use them for cool stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. I quietly watched Merlin struggle for a minute.
So
I summon him back. He's like, and I'm like,
Nice try, buddy. Nice try.
just sitting on my shoulder like.
So what did you score altogether?
3.
3? So that is a difference of 6. So the failure is bad, but not a disaster.
Okay.
So you're not. So it says there will be some short-term consequences that might lead to some immediate difficulties. So we're saying that he can't get the door open, and that's the immediate difficulty. Yeah. So he's there like stretching his neck out and trying to flap to open the door. And it's yeah. What is it?
My bat's just like sarcastically flapping its wings beside the door, waiting.
Yeah.
Come on. So
now what do you do?
So
Nicholas is just gonna go and try to open the door.
Okay.
So Nicholas, you walk up and you're just like, and then you like kind of nudge Merlin out of the way and just click open, and it just opens. It feels a little like numbing to hold the handle, like you know, if you like smacked your hand too hard on a surface and you'd have like a little tingling like owie, and it feels like that while you're holding the door.
Oh, weird.
Oh, so he's gonna just try to like have the door open with his foot.
Oh, okay. So you kind of keep it propped and you're protected from your boot by your boot.
Okay.
Okay. So Pitch manages to make his way or their way into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can tell me kind of a bit about what Pitch is doing in there, like flying around or...
Yeah, so just flying around. I specifically suggested not touching anything or landing anywhere. So just kind of flying around into any spaces that are openly available to see if there's any people or what is there, if there's no people, that kind of thing. Just have a look, basically.
Perfect. So Pitch flies toward, like, the first one is like a teacher's lounge sort of room, and they fly in and look around, and there seems to be a person who's on the couch, and they seem to be asleep.
Okay. He'll go have like a closer look, fly around that person.
Okay. You recognize this person as Professor Holloway.
Okay.
And this is the potions professor. And they seem to be asleep on the couch.
Oh. Okay. Let's fly around a little bit more to see if we find any conscious people, because we don't want to be rude and wake somebody up who is sleeping if there's conscious people around.
Okay. All right. So Pitch takes off and flies further, and there are some closed doors, and I don't know if the first years would have been in this area, but there's some closed doors, and they remind you of your dorms, of how your rooms are laid out. And then there's the kitchen area, and Pitch flies into the kitchen area, and there's someone who's asleep on the kitchen table, like, and there's like a coffee mug, and their hands in the mug, but they're asleep at the table. And the coffee, it looks cold, like there's no steam coming off it or anything.
Okay.
And this looks to be like the Brooms, the flight professor.
Okay.
The flying professor.
Okay.
Early person.
Yeah, at the sight of this, that's definitely not normal, but this professor isn't one of the, like, professors that we know very well, so I'm gonna say Pitch. So, like, can we, like, communicate back and forth at a distance?
Yeah, so you have psychic link with your animal companion, so I think you have a two-way.
Yeah, well, I definitely have a two-way. I just didn't know if we could communicate at a distance or just in proximity. You know what I mean?
I think it would work at a distance. I mean, maybe not if you were in other countries, but I think it would work.
Okay.
a complete two-way psychic communication with your familiar at any distance.
Oh, okay.
So even if you were in other countries, you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna suggest that the bat tries to flutter around. What was it, the potions professor?
Professor Sweeps.
Wait, that's
the broom professor. Oh, you want to go back to the potions professor?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I miss
yeah, I was like, surely that's not the potions professor.
Professor Holloway.
Holloway. Okay, I'm writing that down because they're my favorite. Yeah, I want to try and wake them up.
Okay. At this point, your Pitch seems to be feeling more tired than you're used to feeling. Like Pitch is feeling tired.
Okay.
And Pitch can usually fly like a lot, but it's not. They're not at danger of like crashing or anything like that. But you feel that sensation. Like
okay,
Pitch is
well
getting
then,
tired.
Never mind. Immediately come out because I think that.
Oh, okay. Well, I could have let you do that first and then come out fine if you want. I wasn't trying to make you like pull out, but I just wanted to let you know that like that was kind of happening.
So if I notice that before the flapping, then I would say never mind, come out. But if I notice it after the flapping, then that's when I would say.
Yeah, maybe we'll say like the flapping.
Okay.
Is like, okay, now I'm exhausted.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
But the flapping doesn't seem to do anything, and Professor Holloway does not wake up.
Okay.
Even though it's like,
we're screwed. Let's get out of here and go home. All right. So the bat comes back. Pitch comes back, and I'll explain basically what I saw, or what Pitch saw, and experienced.
So you think that's the roots that is doing that?
I mean, it seems weird for just two random professors to be asleep in the middle of the common areas, right?
Yeah.
And not waking up. Who wouldn't wake up with a bat flapping around their face?
Maybe we could go to either the library or wherever, see if there's somebody smart who can figure out what that plant is.
Sure.
Okay.
If there's anybody there, where's the library?
The library would probably be in that center section where all the classrooms are. Okay, so you head to the library. It's unlocked. There doesn't seem to be a librarian, and there's nobody in there. But there are some books that were left out on a table. And one of them catches your eye, and it is a herbalism book. And as you get closer, it is open to a page. And that page has a picture of a plant, and the roots look fairly similar to the one that you had experimented on.
Okay.
So the information is talking about how it's like a kind of weed, and if it gets out of control, it can, devastate it like a magical population. But it's very rare, and it needs a lot of cultivation to be successful. Like a lot of human or whatever, like just someone needs to be encouraging it, especially since it doesn't normally grow in cold climates.
So somebody is probably doing this on purpose.
Oh.
Let's fly into the hole on our brooms.
Does it say in the book how to get rid of it?
Let me see if I wrote it down. Or one thing I'm trying to do with this is wing it a lot, because I want to try and be true to the kids on brooms, sort of kids on bikes thing. So I did very little planning, so I'm trying my best to...
Well, you can make it up.
Exactly. I just want to see if I had a plan. Okay. All right, so... I think there would be a couple of ways to kind of deal with this, and that would be to cut off its water supply, or cut off its heat supply, because it needs to be, like, you understand from this text that it needs constant care, and it doesn't normally grow in cold climates.
Okay.
So it's sucking up the magic, but that's not what's making it grow. It's the heat and the water.
Well, the magic's definitely helping it, and it's like that is part of its food, but it also, like, if it got too cold, it would probably not survive. Or if it didn't have water, it would probably not survive.
Just like any plant, right? Like, it needs sunlight and water, and
like the magic would be like the sun.
Yeah. Or like the fertilizer in the soil or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but there's nothing that like you couldn't like spray it with salt or something to like kill it.
Sure. Yeah, maybe that's also written there. We're telling this story together. We
Yeah.
can say that salt is another thing. Like, if you put a large amount of salt on it, it would definitely like ruin its absorption of water, and it would cause the plant to die.
Like if it acts like other plants in some normal ways, then we could find some kind of potion or solution. I mean, like a weed killer, exactly, that we could brew.
I say that. I doubt that they have weed killer at the top of the mountain.
No, but our potions. I mean, we're really just starting out, to be honest. But we could probably figure it out.
All right. So, what do you do?
We have to go in the hole.
I think so. Or we could just go home.
It might be kind of hard with no magic going around.
Oh yeah, we can't leave. We're in the middle of a mountain with no road.
Yeah, but you know how to survive in the wilderness, right?
You can try. We can totally, if you guys want to leave and go home, we can change this to like a survival
a survival game?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we need to, if we just leave, we don't even know, like, is there anything in the book about what happens to, like, a person whose magical force has been sucked away from this plant? Like, are they going to be okay, or are they going to die? Like, is it just that they're no longer magical? Because it just looked to me like they were kind of zonked, you know?
Yeah, I think that in this world, when someone has their magic like forcibly taken away, I think it would take a grander toll than just turning them into a mundane. I think it would have like a very dire toll on them, both mentally and physically. And I think that is something that you would kind of know. Maybe not Ray might not have heard stories like that, but I think for anyone from like a magical family, or like if Ray had been like a few years in, I think you would know that like there would be kind of dire consequences if
maybe we can,
for those people,
we can say, like, you know, I know that it's scary, but it sounds like their magical force is being stripped away from them, and that's very dangerous, and like they could die if we don't try to help them, and there's nobody else here as far as we can tell except for us, so I feel like we have to try.
Okay.
And if the roots are sucking that much magic out of the building, maybe people are gonna notice the building is here.
Oh yeah. And then we'll, like, be discovered.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good thinking.
So, do you guys agree that maybe the best place to try and look is, like, down that hole that formed in the grounds?
I guess.
Sure. We can lower ourselves with our broom.
We can just fly down.
Sorry.
What
if
was
we try
that?
to cast the spell on the roots, will it just absorb it?
Well, we could test that out before going down there.
Yeah, because I'm curious if we do like a tracing spell or something, and it would like follow the root system all the way back down.
Why don't you try?
Or even if you do like a glow spell and it would just light it up.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, you should try it.
Okay. What am I doing?
Okay, so, I think that that's a fairly normal thing that could happen in nature. Because, plants can glow. I think or like, at least some
bioluminescence. Yeah.
Right? I think this is kind of a big situation. Like, you're trying to do something a little bit big because you're trying to light up, and you're not sure how big this root system is. So I think this is a big one. So that'll make it 6. It's an instantaneous, however.
We do kind of want it to maintain.
You want it to last.
So we can follow it?
Yeah. So the options are minute long, hour long, day long, week long, or permanent. Permanent would be a +6. Minute long is a +1. Hour long is a +2.
I'd say, do we want to just do an hour?
Yeah. Yeah, if we have to try and cast it again later, we can.
Okay. And I think this is a fairly basic spell. Probably, like, that was probably one of the first things you learned was how to make things glow. Like, I think that's an important thing. So I'm going to say that you've mastered this spell, so that'll be a +0. So total you need an 8.
And what sort of
And
goal?
we're going to say... So brains is when you want to reveal something hidden. Charm would be create an illusion, so that could also work. Or modify your appearance in some way. So it could be charm or brains, I would say. So you can choose.
I'll probably go with brains then.
Okay.
All right.
What die is it?
It's a D12.
What'd you get?
Okay, so here's another thing that you can do that we'll go over now. If it's a planned action, which this is, you're not under any duress and you're not frightened or anything, you can take half the die and then add your modifiers, and you can also add, so that's kind of like you're taking, so in this case you'd get an automatic 6, and then if you have modifiers, that would help. And also if you want, you can spend your adversity token to also bump up if you wanted to.
Do you have a modifier on that stat?
Nope. Nope.
Okay, so that doesn't help, but that's something you can use moving forward. But you do get another adversity token, and if someone else wants to try that spell,
I'll try it.
Yeah, because you've got the idea, and this feels like more your wheelhouse.
Okay, so same difficulty, 8.
Yes, and if you have if you want to take half of your die,
I've got a D20. Yeah, so let me do that because yeah, so I like kind of watch you do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, it's so close, but I just think if we just did this at the end, and then
right,
yeah.
I feel like this is the second instance of Marlo showing up right.
Oh no! But you are a firstborn caster, so this is like, this is very on brand, I think.
Yeah. Doesn't make it feel better.
What are your strengths in?
What's your D20 stat?
My D20 is grit.
Okay, so that's gonna come in handy when you're like healing people and protecting people. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
so
brain is D12, so let me tell you, I rolled a 2 on my D4 and a 2 on my D12.
Yeah.
Not just, but consistent.
Maybe it's just enough day for Ray.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I got up.
Oh, dang it.
Maybe you got up late. Your bird was like hungry early, woke you up too early, maybe.
Yeah.
That's an off day.
Exactly. Okay, so the roots begin to glow, and the glow travels down into this dark hole, which illuminates up with light, and you see these roots going down deeper, and then turning away into the forest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do we follow the light with a broom?
Yeah, but before we go, we prepared some like spray bottles with this.
Okay, we should roll to see how effective your
Should be
spray is.
Protection from magic potion, so it doesn't drain our magic.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, so you're gonna make a potion that like kind of like a sunscreen a little bit that you could like apply to protect yourself.
Water mist, and we're like, there we go.
Okay.
Oh my god, we can't get our mist bottles mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Clearly label.
Okay.
Drinkable potion.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Around here.
Yeah.
So we'll do the weed whack, the weed killer first.
Okay.
So I think it's something that could happen naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can create something that would kill plants.
Yep.
I think that you would be trying to create something that could kill a large-ish amount of plant.
Yep.
So that adds 5. And I think you're kind of wanting this to be an instantaneous effect. Like once you spray it, it's just like, ah!
Yes.
So that'd be a +0.
Okay.
And then your experience. I'll let you decide this. Have you mastered, cast, witnessed, or inexperienced in this?
So I'm going to argue for this one that we've cast it, because I do think that this is more like a first year general kind of useful potion that you might learn in a first year potions class. Like weed killer or whatever, right? And it's probably not too complicated.
Probably even your parents use it in your house.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good teaching experience, because you have to use some dangerous potions ingredients that are kind of toxic, so you have to learn like the safety measures and all that stuff. So it's a really great first year potions lesson.
Okay.
And I feel like the first years would be when we'd be learning about all the different herbs and whatever, and then that would immediately tie into then like if there's something really bad. Like,
Yeah. It all makes sense. This is like we're developing the curriculum for first year potions right now.
Yeah, I love it. So I think this would use the fight stat, because that is usually used to cast magic if you want to attack enemies, break curses, or blast through obstacles.
Okay.
And I think you're trying to attack an enemy with this.
Okay. So I'm gonna make this one, and you're gonna make the like
Protecting
sunscreen lotion. Okay. So I'm gonna use this black and gold dye. It's a D12. I do get to add 1 from my wand, correct? Because I'm doing magic.
Yep, this is a magical situation.
I need 7.
Yes.
So I could take
6 + 1 and hit it right on the nose.
Should I do that? The only benefit is that if I roll higher, then like extra good stuff could happen. I think I should play it safe and not roll.
Yes, because this is your chance for a planned action. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and because we can't, and sorry to cut you off, Jill, but it's maybe not clear if you haven't played before, but you can't always do a planned action. You have to have time to do a planned action. So right now is a good time to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty confident that you've made something, a potion that will kill plants, and maybe you test it on a little dandelion thing that you have growing that's been spreading around the classroom, and it does the job pretty well.
Okay. And so we'll put this in some like spritzer bottles.
Perfect. Gabrielle, you're gonna make a spell that can protect. So I think that's something that could happen. Sunscreen exists. I think that's a fairly, you're making a barrier cream, basically. You're doing it to a person. So we're adding +3 for the size of the effect. How long do you want it to last? An hour long is a +2. If you want it to last a day, it's a +3.
I feel like a day.
Okay, so we're going to add 3 to that. So that's a 7. And so here's where I'm letting you decide. Have you mastered this before, cast it before, witnessed it being done, or are you completely inexperienced with this?
I feel like we would have protection potions for sure, but I feel like this is... Yeah, I feel like we would have learned how to make protection potions, you know what I mean? Because the last thing you want to do is fall off your broomstick and break a limb.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very useful.
So I feel like this would be something we would have learned.
So do you think you've mastered it, or do you think you've at least cast it before?
Am I losing people?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would say at least cast it before. Maybe not mastered, but cast it at least a few times.
Okay.
Okay, 8, and you're going with your grit.
Okay. Cool. Can I just take the half of my d20?
Mm-hmm.
Plus my modifiers, and that's an 11, so there we go.
Perfect.
Yay!
Perfect. So you create a nice barrier cream, and it actually even smells pretty nice. Like, it's not scented, but it has like a nice scent to it that doesn't give anyone headaches or anything. Like, it's like, oh, this actually feels really good on the skin.
Nice. It's like
Oh
man. Yeah. That's awesome.
So everyone puts some of that on.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So do you head for the hole?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put a little bit on pitch in your husband's
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to take a little break before you go in?
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest that, Jill. Maybe like a 10-minute break to give us a breather. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we're going in the hole. It's gonna be so exciting. He's like, I don't want to go. All right, be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're back. We've done our break. We're ready.
And just as a quick little recap, in case you've just tuned in, our 3 magical kid adventurers are about to venture forth into a deep hole with now glowing roots to find the source of what is causing the magic to be sucked out of their magical school academy, Maplewood Academy.
All right, and yeah, I think we are
Here's
pretty.
what I found.
Siri is having something to say. I shut him up.
Did Siri Google that for you?
Yeah, I think he heard all of it and just looked it up. Thank you, Siri. Great.
I wonder if he directed you to this stream. Yeah, so we've got our sunscreen, magic sucking protection. We've got our weed whacker spray. We've got all our book bags and our brooms, and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
So now you're going to attempt to fly into the hole.
Yes.
Now you're all pretty okay at flying. I don't know how good Ray is, but I mean, I think you all can do flying at least a little. However, there is some like wind coming out of this hole just at the opening. So it is going to require a check just to get through without getting knocked off your broom, or and to just kind of push through that little bit of a wind barrier there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a flying check. So we're going to be using the flight stat.
Makes sense.
Yep. So I don't think you'll be using your wands for this. It's just you and your brooms. So whatever personal bonuses you have, and then whatever you get from your broom, if there's anything useful there. And I think that this difficulty would be... I think this would be about a 7 difficulty. And you're using your flight stat.
Okay.
And if you want to do anything, like, if you want to try and do a spell on it, or if you want to try to do anything fancy thinking or anything, I'm open to ideas.
So, yeah, you said that we weren't going to use our wands, but could I choose to use my wand? Because it does give me a +1 to flight.
Okay, so you're going to try and... so what kind of a spell are you going to try and use to aid you to get through the barrier?
Just, like, to calm the wind in around us.
Oh, okay, so you're trying to give everyone, like, kind of like a benefit. So let's make a spell for that.
Okay.
You also get +1 flight because of the innocence feature from being an underclassman, right?
Oh,
That
never
sounds
mind.
right.
It's not. Never mind. It's not flight that I get
Not a
+1
wand?
from my wand. It's fight that I get with my wand. So this is not. Yeah. Okay.
Do you still want to cast a spell to, like, lower the difficulty for everybody?
Sure.
Or try to...
Sure. I
Okay.
can try. Yeah.
Okay,
Am I
so
flying on my broom right now, though? By the way, while I cast a spell, I would like to be.
That's up to you.
Yes, I would like to be.
Okay.
Because if I succeed on a check when I'm on my broom, I get to give somebody an adversity token.
Ah, smart thinking. Okay. So, I really don't super like this first chart, so I'm just going to take the one as in it could naturally happen. I think if you're trying to do something completely wild, then it will go up in the chart, but I think, you know, you're just trying to block some wind.
Calming the wind down, yeah.
Yeah. For area of effect, are you trying to do it for one person or smaller, or are you trying to make it bigger than a person, smaller than a classroom?
Yep, second thing. Bigger than a person, smaller than a classroom.
Okay. How long do you want it to last? So it just happens, or do you want it to be like something that lasts a few minutes so everyone can get through?
Yeah. A few minutes, yeah.
A few minutes. Is this something that what experience do you have with this spell? Is this something that you've cast before? Is this something that you've seen? What would you say? Or are you inventing this spell?
I think I've at least seen it, but maybe cast it as well. It doesn't seem like a very complicated spell, and so I think I've cast it before.
Okay, and I think that makes sense in this school, especially because
we're in the
you're up in the north, you're on the mountains. Shovelboard is a very big sport, and you'd want to be able to kind of keep the conditions ideal for that sport.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So an 8.
An 8.
And we're going to use... So it could be brawn, trying to move an object or keep something protected. It could be grit, because you're trying to keep someone safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's...
Yeah. I think either of those would fit.
Okay, I'll go with grit then.
Okay.
So it's a D8.
Okay.
Plus 1 for my wand. It's a 4 total.
Okay, so you get an adversity token.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone else would like to try something similar, or if you just want to say, well, let's go through.
I got a 10 on my flight roll, so...
Okay, so you fly through the wind barrier, and you're in there.
What do we need for that roll again? 7?
7.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna
7
do that roll
For
now.
flight.
Yeesh. I got a 6.
Okay, so you get an adversity token, And if I don't know if anyone wants to spend an adversity token to help, since this isn't like you're in a dire situation, you have some time to plan and stuff. You can spend an adversity token to help if you wish.
Well, I was gonna say, Marlo used the spell while on the broom, so that grants somebody an adversity token.
Oh, that's true. You can.
But I didn't
Oh,
succeed.
it was a failure, though.
I didn't succeed, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you succeeded on a check, though, Ray? Does that give an adversity token?
Yeah, if you have the same broom as me.
I guess so for a flight check, yeah. If I'm on my broom and I go ahead and succeed.
Yeah, so
check.
you're able to give an adversity token.
I'll give that to Nicholas.
Okay. So Nicholas, do you want to spend your adversity token to succeed?
So I have to, like...
So you rolled a 6.
Yes.
But you can spend an adversity token to succeed and get that 7.
To get a +1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you make it through
So
the
does
barrier.
that
It's a
mean-
little...
Does it mean that I fail my roll, or does it
No.
mean, like, so I don't
You've
have
succeeded.
any adversity token?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. You're at 0 adversity tokens now. So
Okay.
what happened with you, Marlo?
Oh, I got a 3.
Okay. Okay, so you get an adversity token,
Yeah. Now I have 2.
and so you're holding onto your broom, and you see Ray get through, and Nicholas get through.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay,
I can do this.
and you go for it. So that is. So we said 7. You got a 3. Okay, so the character fails, but not too badly.
Okay, good.
There might be some very, very minor short-term consequences, but these won't shift the story for more than a minute or 2.
Okay.
Okay, so you think you're almost through this barrier, and you're just before you get through, you're like, haha! But in that moment, you end up dangling from your broom, and you're through the barrier, but you're just kind of dangling, and you're having this moment where maybe one of your friends needs to assist you and put you back up on the broom. And
Okay.
the thing that hurts the most is just your pride. You know,
Yeah.
you're fine, but your pride might be a little wounded there.
Sure, yeah.
Nicholas gonna help out the...
Okay, so you fly over.
And we'll just lift her. Back on the room. There you go.
By like my hood.
Yeah, by
Yeah,
the strap.
basically.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, since I have, like, we said that we were bringing her familiar.
Oh,
I mean, my character has his esky, so I imagine that he has like one of those like baby sling, like as a scarf, and the dog is just stuck
Oh my god!
in the front.
Cute. Is it like behind? Is your dog behind you with the head over the shoulder, like ooh?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
yeah, that would
that
be
is
easier.
so cute. Because then you can kind of maneuver in the front. Ah, okay. And then like I'm assuming that like Marlo has her bat like tucked.
In a pocket.
Oh, in like a little bat pocket.
Yeah. Or it could be flying around, but maybe because of the wind, we just decided that it should be in the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, cute. And so that's Pitch. And how's Merlin? Are you like do you hold Merlin while you're going through the wind tunnel?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably just grabbed a hold of the broom, but also right in front of me, so if he gets pushed back, it's just against me, so he ain't.
Oh, cute.
He looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah,
But it's like,
It's like in Titanic. He's like, I'm flying.
Oh. Well, yeah.
But you're a bird. You fly all the. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Just
Enjoy it. Yeah, that's great.
All right, so you all safely make it through. And it is very dark in here, other than the glowing roots. So, Marlo, that'll be something you're keeping in mind for your future checks,
Okay. Yeah.
since you have a fear of the dark.
It's scary. Yeah.
There are like dripping sounds in here that there's definitely like a source of water under here somewhere. So in this cave. I thought it would be kind of nice to hear one thing from each of you that you might see in a magical underground tunnel, just to get let's together build what this might look like under here.
Oh.
So we'll start with Nancy, because I don't think I ever start with Nancy.
I think there might be some little like glowing mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
Little cute mushroom glowing in the pot, maybe.
Yeah, so
that's cute.
So like little clusters of glowing mushrooms, and maybe some are like poking up from the side, like, you know, that shape.
Yeah.
So like maybe even like a couple of different colors, like some blue ones and green ones kind of around. Different kinds of fungi. So maybe it's a little less dark than I originally was picturing.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No. This is part of the storytelling, so that's good. That's good. Gabrielle, what kind of thing might we see under here?
The first thing that popped into my head was like a spider crab.
Oh,
Spider, but he's like got little armory pieces. Because I actually googled spider crab, and it's like, oh, it's a Japanese spider crab. Apparently, they're like a meter wide.
Whoa.
And these
Oh,
like
no.
crabs, like, not that big, like this big. But like they're really, really skinny leg spiders, but they kind of have like actual like that chitin armor, so they're actually kind of like.
So they
durable,
are crabs?
soft and fuzzy. No, they're spiders.
They're
armored
spiders.
like crabs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure which one they actually were.
How to
Okay.
make spiders more terrifying? Give them armor.
Give them armor. Okay, so there's these like armored spiders, and maybe they're kind of like winter themed, so they have like white.
They're icy.
Yeah, they're like ice spiders maybe, and instead of like armor that we would know, like shell armor, it's like ice armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Kate, what else do we see as we're flying through?
I'm imagining some like stalactites and stalagmites that are just like big ice pillars. So they're like giant icicles, or stalactites and stalagmites, but they're made out of, or at least like covered in a thick layer of ice. And I think around the roots of the plant, you can see that the surfaces in here are sort of like glistening and wet and dripping, because maybe that's a little bit warmer than it usually is, and so the ice around the roots is sort of melting away a little bit, and that creates that like that typical cave like drip 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 echoey sound that we can hear.
I love it. Now my mind is thinking about it like it's very like there's lots of like, now that the roots are glowing and like these glowing mushrooms and things, like it's kind of like going through all this ice and making these like beautiful blues, and like the whole thing is actually quite like beautiful, and like there's these like skittering ice crabs, and it's just this, it's kind of a lot more alive down there than I was picturing. So like I love this in my mind, this looks beautiful. Like it's really exciting to be down here. Amazing. Okay, so you're making your way through the cave. Okay, and you travel for a while, and you start seeing these carved runes in parts of the cave wall, and around these runes there's no ice, and it's it's wet and slick in that area, and there's like chunks of ice down on the ground, and these runes are carved kind of like in various heights in the cave, and the farther in you go, the more and more runes there are, and the less and less ice is there. And you see like, you know, like you're seeing less of the crabs, and the like even there's some like fungi that were like the mushrooms were like cut off, and there's a rune carved, and there's like little dead mushrooms lying on the ground of the cave. So if you keep going.
This is like carved into the wall. It's not something that's been placed there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's something that someone was like painstakingly like carving in.
I would
Does it look new or old?
It looks fairly new.
So I don't recognize them from anything.
I think as a first year, you probably wouldn't have seen this before, but since you are all like, you've been magically training and I think you're all fairly intelligent as well. Sorry, Nicholas.
Yeah, no.
But I think you're kind of putting two and two together that these runes look like they're melting the ice around them,
creating this warmth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try with my Swiss Army knife to just like slash through one of the runes and kind of destroy it. Like I'm assuming that it needs to maintain its form in order to work. Maybe I know that much about like certain magical spells.
Right.
Like if it's a kind of rune spell that, if you break it, then it won't work anymore. Or at least that's my theory.
Perfect. So I think that this would be a fight or brawn check, just like not a magical one, but you're using your strength to carve in here and try and wreck this rune. So you can choose whichever one of those you feel would work best for you.
I'll use fight.
Okay, so you're like, you go at it and you're like kind of hacking at this. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's a 5.
Okay. I've got a D12.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 5.
Oh, perfect. So you damage this rune, and little chunks of the rock fall away, and you kind of feel like the magic is taken out of this rune. Like you think you've succeeded in muting this magic.
Ooh, so I'm going to suggest that we try to do that to as many of these runes that we see.
Do we just want to fly straight down with our knives? Just
That's a good idea. Do like a slash all the way through all of them. Okay. Between the three of you, I think this would be maybe a if you want to say this is a flight check for, making sure that you keep your broom on check, or if you want to use the fight stat for hacking at it, I'd say that either of those would be a 5. And then if you want to try and argue with me to get another stat as the thing you want to check, we can discuss that. But I think either flight or fight would be,
I'll just do
a 5.
flight.
Okay.
Do you want me to do another check, Jill, or just those two?
We can say that you kind of have the handle on it, and we'll get the other two to do.
Okay.
Are we going with the meets it beats it rule?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a 5.
Okay, perfect. So you're flying by, and you're just like you've stuck your Swiss Army knife in, and you are just like slashing, and then you're using your broom to tilt yourself, and you're holding steady and just kind of like getting these runes as you go by.
Yeah, Merlin's at just one single one with his talons, like.
Like picking
it, a little leeway, and I'm just like, come back. And he finishes
and I think that means you get to give out another adversity token. I didn't say that I was using my broom when I did mine, so I'm not going to do that. But you definitely were on your broom because you said.
But technically, you were because we haven't landed.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna read what it says in here. Each time you succeed at a check, an ally of your choice receives 1 adversity token, and it's while you're riding the broom. So yeah, I think you would get to award. You each get to award an adversity token to somebody.
So how many do you each have?
I have 2, I believe. Yeah.
I don't have any.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
why
so
don't...
I'm giving mine to you, Marlo.
And oh, well, I already have 2 as well, so maybe we should both give
Oh,
one to Nicholas. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Then we all have 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had 2.
Yeah, I've been sucking, so I've been getting them naturally.
Perfect. So, Nicholas, are you going to use fight or flight?
I using fight, and
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
Perfect.
Nice.
So you are flying up to each one, and you're like, yeah, and then you go to the next one, and you're like, da, and you, all 3 of you have ruined a lot of runes as you go by, as you're flying down this cave.
And we come up with like one of those annoying kid songs about ruining runes.
The
It's
rune
like-
ruiners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way deeper, and the dripping is getting louder and louder, and there's water pooling down at the bottom,
Oh,
and
no.
it's going downhill, and there's like roots. You can see like the roots from the forest above, and the roots that are kind of going up into the forest, and you're assuming that it's kind of getting magic from wherever it can. And then it widens up, and you've been getting, hurting these runes, and these runes are getting a bit bigger, and they're getting more plentiful, and you hear kind of like a tink, 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 tink sound coming from this chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to enter quietly, or do you want to kind of
I would like
hop
for
in
my
there?
bat to quietly
investigate?
yeah, go have a look.
Okay. You send Pitch in ahead of you, and Pitch flies in, and there is a large... So at the center of this chamber, there's this large plant, and you recognize, or Pitch, through your eyes through Pitch, recognize this plant as the one in the book. And you see a figure lying prone in front of the plant with roots wrapped around her. And Pitch sees that this is Professor Spruce. And then
she
Pitch
figured
flies
it
further around and sees a figure carving a large rune into directly behind the plant into the wall around this plant. And this figure has like a hood, so you can't. Pitch isn't able to see who it is yet.
Okay. All right. So.
Let's drop your dog on top of them.
Yeah. So we need to like take out that person, but I think also at the same time, maybe one of us should try and destroy the plant. So I don't know if you guys like this idea, but we can kind of rush in, attack that person, and one of us, probably either Ray or I, will spritz the plant while that person's being distracted. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah, here's a thing that's probably like really, really evil.
Okay.
If we surprise the person, can we spritz them in the eyes?
Sure. Why not? Right? We use what we got.
Very, very mean, but like...
Yeah, but listen, this person is evil. Right? They're wearing a cloak, and they're carving evil runes in a cave.
Yeah, they're obviously evil.
Obvious.
Just they're wearing a cape. Period.
Yeah. Right?
That's the reason. They're wearing cape. Evil.
Evil immediately.
Yeah. No one.
I think I saw the word evil embroidered into the back of the cape, actually.
Yeah. It's like in a slightly darker fabric.
Yeah.
Like the cloak is like navy blue, and then the word evil is embroidered in black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nicholas is going to attack that person.
Nicholas is going for it.
Go,
Yeah,
Nicholas!
well, that's
This is
He's rash.
this is your time to shine.
Right. So tell me what you are doing to attack. Are you going in like with your fists, or are you going in with a spell on your lips, or like what are you doing?
So he's standing on ground, right? So Nicholas would probably fly in, land, and just make a type of like either the same attack spell that you did earlier with the.
Ooh, you're gonna trip.
The trip.
Trippity doo dah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way that this room is laid out, I'm envisioning that the water kind of comes in and there's like a circle of water around where roots are, going in to drink. And then there's the center area where the plant is, so it's like a donut of water around an island where the plant is, and that's where he's carving, or they are carving the rune, and where Professor Spruce is as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what are they carving the rune onto?
The ground, just behind the plant to make sure, or like deepening it to make sure it's like
really good.
Yeah. Real good rune, keeping it clean,
you gotta practice
fresh.
Good rune maintenance. That's an important part of it.
Oh yeah, exactly. So you're going to come in and you're going to trippity doo dah on this person. So could naturally happen. It's on a person or smaller. It's instantaneous, and you've cast this many times before. So you're just trying to hit a 4 in this instance. Okay. The only catch is that it's a verbal spell. So this gives the person a chance to try to counter the spell. So I think since we're adding that, since you're trying to do it a bit faster, let's see. So this is a fight spell. I wonder is there a ruling for this? I don't feel like I read the combat stuff close enough. Okay, so you're actually going to be sending this against the defender's grit. So that will be a bit different. Okay. So I think I need to roll against this.
Yeah, and then it's like whoever gets the higher roll wins. And I think that this one has, if it's similar to Kids on Bikes, this one has levels of success as well. So
I gotta grab dice. I didn't think I'd need them. Okay. So we're having a roll-off, an old-fashioned roll-off. Are you ready?
Okay.
So you're doing fight and I'm doing grit.
Okay.
And you want to have 4 for a successful spell. So if you roll under that, then the spell just didn't work on your end. And then there's the, you also have to beat my roll, which is also a 4.
Wow.
Oh. I got a 9.
Nice.
There we go. Okay. So the character succeeds quite impressively. All right, so you manage to get your spell off, and the figure doesn't have their wand ready, so they were reaching for their wand at the same moment that you trip them, and they stumble backwards and land in the water. This kind of alarms you a little bit because you do have a fear of drowning and a fear of this, like a deep water or anything like that. So this will kind of come into play potentially. We'll see. Okay, so this character just landed in the water. what do Merlot and Ray do? So are you going for the plant?
Yep.
Okay. So we already did the check, and we know that this is an effective potion. So you're going to be spending some time like kind of spraying this down, trying to get as much. And you see that where you spray, the plant starts getting like eaten away. It does have a lot of stalks. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna start at the bottom if I can, so that way it's cut off like at the source sort of thing, and even if like the rest whatever, it might not die instantly, but it can't live and will eventually just wither.
Okay. So while you're doing that, the figure is crawling their way out of the water, and they have their wand ready.
Okay. Can I
Yep.
try and cast a spell?
Yep.
So I want to choose a spell carefully because I would like to use my brains. So can you remind me what types of magic I can use my brains for?
Yep. Your brain stat is generally used to cast magic when you want to reveal something hidden, understand something mysterious, or see into a different place in space or time. So finding hidden passages, astral projection, or decoding magical messages is brains.
That's not going to work then, I don't think. What about fight?
Fight. Your fight is generally used to cast magic when you want to attack enemies, break curses, or blast through obstacles. So like disarming an opponent, causing a target harm, or making something explode.
Ooh, okay. So I was thinking either... There's no ice in here?
Right, so it's all melted in this chamber.
Okay, and so there's stone still, though.
There's still like stalactites and stalagmites. Yeah.
I would like to, if there's is there a stalactite like overhead?
Yeah.
Or like a few?
There's tons.
I would like to like cause them to like break away from the ceiling and fall down onto.
Okay. Okay. So, so this one is natural.
Sure.
I think it's big though. Like you're trying to do a fairly big area.
Yeah,
so
because
like
I can't just
than a person.
Yeah, I can't just do one because then it might miss him. Yeah.
Bigger than a classroom, smaller than a person? Or a classroom or bigger?
Did you say bigger than a person, smaller than a classroom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one option. Yeah. And the next one up is a classroom or bigger.
Nah. Like
okay, so we're adding
smaller than a classroom, but bigger than a person.
So we're adding 5 to that. You want this to be an instantaneous effect. You're not trying to like cause a forever earthquake, so that's adding 0. And experience with the spell. How experienced with this spell do you think you would be as a first semester student? We've got mastered it, cast it before, witnessed it before, or you've never seen anyone cast this spell or read about it. Like you're kind of inventing it for intensive purposes. What do you think?
I would say either witnessed or I'm making it up. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, it depends on what it is. Like, is it a spell specifically targeted at stalactite?
Yeah, are you breaking them or dislodging them?
I'm dislodging them, I think.
I would say
maybe
kind of like creating this like tremble in the surface that they're embedded in so that they break and fall down. Sorry.
Maybe you witnessed something like that, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay, we can say witness.
Theoretically, grabbing something and moving it, you could be doing that, but then again, shaking it to then dislodge it and then quickly like letting go. You know what I mean? Kind of like a levitation spell, but you're just like.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of them at once, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd say
you witnessed it.
I'd say witnessed at the most. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could say you witnessed it.
Okay.
So this is the 9.
Mm-hmm. So I've got my...
And the thing is that since this is like kind of a quick reaction, I don't think you'll be able to take half or use your adversity, or your friends won't be able to use your adversity token.
I can still use my own though.
Oh, yeah, that's how that works, right?
Drop my die.
Okay.
That is how it works. Well, that's how it works in Kids on Bikes. There we go. Okay, so I will roll my die. I got a 3, which is a 4, so it doesn't work.
A 4. Okay. So this, I said it was 9, right?
Yeah.
So you get an adversity token.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe you underestimated how much shake needed to be in this spell. And a couple of pebbles like fall, but no stalactites
dislodge.
Make it dislodge. Yeah. And now the figure is aware that you're also there. So this figure was aware of Nicholas, but now they also realize that you are there as well.
Yeah.
So that's like the bad thing that happened.
Sure.
All right. So this figure is going to say, tie you up, Aris, and try and cast a tie you up spell. So I'm gonna say 4, 6. Okay. So I'm gonna be trying to beat a 6. And what is your grit, Nicholas?
My grit. Do I have to roll a grit, or I tell you my?
It would be your grit. I think, or it's a roll against, isn't it, Kate?
That's what you just did, wasn't it? Wasn't that what you just did?
I'm attacking Nicholas now.
Yeah.
So it is an opposed roll. That's what I just did previously. That is what we're supposed to do, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so you're rolling a grit, and I'm trying to beat a 6 for my spell to work, and then also I need to beat your grit roll. Your grit roll.
Okay. Grit roll. So +1. That's 5. 5.
Okay. So I rolled I rolled a 4. But I think that, let me see what spell slinger is. I didn't roll this character ahead of time like I should have. But originally this character didn't exist, so if I fail a spell check, add +3 to the negative number.
To the negative.
Okay, so I lost by 2, and I can put up to 3, but it's still a failure. But it's a -1.
So
let's see.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So this figure shakes their wand, and they're kind of like realizing that, oh, right, magic. And then they're going to, and so I'll let you guys do an action while they kind of recover from this moment.
Okay.
So what do you all do? So are you still spraying the tree, Ray?
I think so. Is the hooded person still in the water?
They've crawled out of the water, and they're like standing up now so like they stood up to cast the spell, but they're like drenched.
Electricity spells would be great because they would conduct electricity really well. But yeah, I'm gonna keep spraying the plant.
Okay. Did you want to check on Professor Spruce? So you're like spraying all the roots and everything, and you kind of like stumble as you're like doing this. You kind of like step on Professor Spruce's leg, but she doesn't react.
Yeah, I assume she's just like the other professors, and we just need to get rid of this as soon as possible. So like, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, perfect.
The plant's real.
Yeah, so you're probably about halfway through the roots by now. Like you're really, it's working really well. You've created a very good weed killer concoction. You two are excellent at potions.
Is it a full tree though?
Yeah, it's like a bunch of stalk. It's like a cluster of weeds basically, but it's massive. Like each one is like this thick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep spraying then. I can't cut that.
So you're like halfway through. It's like eating away at it, and you feel like since you've been in here, you felt that like oppressive, like magic sucking feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you had the cream to protect you. But like it's feeling less. Like you feel like it's working.
Cool.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, so Nicholas and Marlo, what do each of you do?
Nicholas would probably try to use a grappling spell, well, like a rope spell to tie up the figure. So
Okay. So we'll do an opposed. I'll do my opposed grit spell. I think could naturally happen. A person size, instantaneous, and you've at least cast this spell before since you're like a few years in. Do you think you would have mastered it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you need to beat a 5, and I'm gonna roll my grit.
Okay. 6.
Nice.
My grit roll was 4.
Wow.
Because this person whose trope I picked
It's not very gritty.
has a 4 grit, and it's not very gritty. If I had thought of this in advance, I might have chose a different set, but I chose what I chose, and we're sticking with it.
Yeah.
So you yelled "tie you upperus" because that was the spell I made up on the spot. And
tie you upperus.
Yeah, exactly. So Nicholas, what does this look like coming out of your wand?
It looks like a sparkling rope that comes out of the wand and kind of like moves like a snake and just wraps around the person and just tightens with a bow.
Perfect.
With a
Okay.
bow.
Yeah, there's like even a little like final like sparkle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and Marlo, what are you doing? You see this successful tie-up, and Professor Bruce is lying there, and Ray has made it like over halfway through these.
Yeah. So
rates.
I heard Ray say something about electricity, and I'm like, ooh, good idea. And so seeing this rope that has formed, I'm gonna try and like imbue it with electricity to shock.
Okay.
Yeah, to shock the person.
Okay, so I think this is something that could happen, but not naturally. Like I think that we're kind of breaking into a little bit of a challenge here. For area of effect, maybe that's a person size.
Well, it's just the rope. It's just the rope.
So it's either a book or smaller, or a person or smaller.
Okay, person then. Yeah.
Person. Okay. And then instantaneous, so that's a +0. And I'll let you decide your experience with this kind of spell.
It's so hard. I don't think
I know it is hard.
because it's like I want to be like, yes, I happen to master this spell, but I didn't, so I don't know the spell. I'm making it up. And because it's like
Making up this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's an added. So have you ever witnessed it before? Or do you think you're like, I think this would be great?
I don't think I've witnessed it before. I think I'm winging it.
Okay, so that's a +5.
Yeah.
So we've got.
Oh no.
So we've got an 11 here.
All right. Well.
So I think since you're inventing it, instead of using fight, I think you should be able to use brains because yes, it's an offensive thing, but I think we can bend the rules a little bit here because you're like inventing a spell. Like you're coming up with a spell on the fly. You're understanding something mysterious, which is a new spell.
Yeah. All right.
So 11.
And that's
You're using physics to...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my d20. 17 plus 1 is 18.
Holy smoke.
Yay!
Okay. So, we said 11. You got an 18. So that's
7.
an 8. 7. God, my math is awful. The character succeeds quite impressively.
Ooh.
Okay, so you were intending to... We'll say that you're intending to stun them because this is a Christmas game.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So you blast forth with some electricity and you put just enough amperage, or I'm not super great with the electricity, but you're just gonna
juice is the technical term, I think.
Enough juice to this shock, and it travels down the magical rope and like zaps this figure, and with the water condensation, everything, the person gets a good jolt and stops moving.
Okay.
Unconscious.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally unconscious.
Breathing.
Not dead.
Yeah, and we check.
Breathing. Yeah, breathing. They're breathing. And you pull back the hood, I'm assuming, at this point. Now that and you discover that it is your headmaster, who has been pushing a mundane,
no,
a series of mundane courses on the student workload, such as baking and climbing and other various mundane activities. They've been trying to push this curriculum on the school.
They're anti-magic,
and they've been displaying these anti-magic sentiments for a while now. Who's your headmaster?
It was like a pastry thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were a pastry chef. Trudy Baker, your headmaster, who has been trying to sap the magic from the school so students would appreciate mundane means of
living,
education more.
Oh yeah. Wow, rude.
Very rude. So you get rid of this plant. Ray has spent the time and has sprayed all these roots, and they fizzle away, and you can feel the magic kind of coming back into this chamber, and like the runes that are still there become hot. So before they were just giving like a little bit of energy off, but now they are like becoming hot because the magic is returning to
okay.
Returning to the thing, and you're kind of getting the impression
just the room.
and like the water starts heating up and steam starts rising in the chamber.
Let's put one of them over each of our brooms and GTFO.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's make a final flight check, because 2 of you are laden down. Who are going to take the 2? Like, which ones of you are going to take a person? Because they're going to get
flight score. What do you got?
My flight's only D10. I'm the one who kind of floundered getting in here because of some wind. So.
Yeah, my flight is an 8.
Oh, should I try then? Maybe. I have a D10. I have a D10 plus 1, so maybe I should. Maybe I should try.
So I'm gonna say that since you're trying to get out quickly, and you are.
Can Nicholas help one of us? Like, isn't there like an aid action?
Well, I think that would be to give the adversity tokens, but we're doing like kind of a fast.
Wait a sec.
Well, like
we all have adversity tokens, don't we?
Yeah. You can spend them on yourself.
That just gives you a +1 though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Per adversity token, yeah. So if you have 2, you can get a +2 to your roll.
Okay.
So I think that this would be an 8.
I got a 9. I'm taking Professor Spruce.
So
okay.
Yeah, so like.
And if you're not carrying someone, then it would be a 6.
All right.
But with the added weight.
I'll roll. So 9.
8. I'm holding 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I rolled. I got a 9 total.
Perfect. Okay. So
How much do I have?
So you need to roll a 6, Nicholas, since you're not carrying anybody.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Nicholas!
Here's what happened. So, okay, so that's, let's see.
I could use an
Okay.
adversity token, but it's not really worth it.
No.
It doesn't
So-
help you succeed, yeah.
Okay, so I'll narrate what happens, and then you're gonna roll again. So we'll do this part. So Ray and Marlo haul the two professors onto their brooms, one each, and take off. And they do like a running start and then jump up, and then the steam, they like blast through the steam and head back toward the icy caverns. Luckily, you've destroyed a bunch of the runes on the way, so that steam and that heat does not find its way in that in the tunnel at all. So the tunnel is very secure, and it's not like it's not like suddenly melting or anything like that. Like, we're good. Nicholas, however, he like lands for a second and then goes to take off, and it's like some steam gets in his eyes, and he's kind of struggling a bit, and like with the water all around, and it's just a lot, and he has this fear of deep water and things. So I think that is being triggered a little bit here. But you manage to take a couple of runs, and you close your eyes and like run out of the chamber, and now you can make another flight check at a lower difficulty because you are out of that terrifying moment for you. So do you want to do another flight check? And since you're pretty good at flying, but so I think this would be down to a 4 because you're out of the chamber.
Okay.
I just
Oh,
really
fuck.
Team
So,
What? What did you roll?
2?
Yeah, but you
But
have
two
two.
adversity tokens.
What?
You can spend your 2 adversity tokens on yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So you stutter and stumble, but you manage to get yourself together, and you tightly grip your broom, and you just go for it, and you like zip around the stalactites and stalagmites, and manage to catch up with your 2 companions who are flying a little bit slower because they do have these 2 basically dead weights on their brooms.
Yay.
Yeah, you fly out of the hole, and you make it back to the school with your 2 professors. And it's kind of a difficult evening because, you know, everyone's asleep. You just kind of leave. I'm assuming, well, you guys can jump in here with me, but I'm thinking like you maybe bring them to the medical wing, keep the headmaster tied up because they're going to have to deal with the authorities. And then you probably are exhausted. The next morning, people start waking up. The teachers are awake again and start, they wake up. You've saved them, and they, you guys start organizing things.
They just wake up. The
Right.
next day.
Wow, I feel very rested.
Is the
Yeah,
is the
so-
evergreen tree back to life?
Yeah, so you see fresh buds blooming on the evergreen tree, and it looks like it has regained life. And you look out, and the lumberjack.
It's wearing a new shirt.
It's like the sleeves are off, so it's like the same shirt, but like the sleeves are off. So it looks like it's getting back into its routine of changing it up.
Cool.
Yeah, so you've saved the magic in the school just in time for Christmas, and the teachers realize that they're behind, so they scramble together to get little Christmas festivities underway, and each of you get an adorable gift
Yay.
of your choosing. I don't know what you would want, so if you want it, let's end it on you opening your gifts, and you tell me what you get.
Wait. Here's the question though: who do the
Okay.
gifts come from? Is it from the teachers, or
Yeah.
like are we gifting?
Father Christmas, of course.
Oh.
I think that I open up a lovely advanced potions book.
Ooh, it's like a few years ahead of what you should be able to do, but you've proven that you have the skills, and it's like you've earned.
You can
this
read
for
ahead.
sure.
You got like
You can do it.
You're like a first. You got a third year level of potions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I was thinking of very similar things, so Ray just opens a second yearbook.
But that's great though. No, but it's great because like if we had gotten the same book, then that wouldn't have been useful. But now you can read yours and I can read mine, and then we can swap them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a combination of Ray going, "Oh, she outshined me again too. We can share.
Yeah.
And we can both learn twice as spells." And
Yeah.
Ray's like, "Oh, they share with me."
That's so good.
Yeah.
Nicholas, what do you open?
Probably a new broom.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you were having all the troubles with the other broom.
Yeah.
Or a new broom attachment.
Yeah, a new shovel attachment.
Probably some.
Or like
or,
adjustable like cup holder. Put like a little hot chocolate in it.
What would your new broom be? Would you choose another one from the list?
Oh.
One that helps with like.
Oh, the one that I got helps with flight too. So when I said that I got 2, it's because I got a +1 in flight.
Oh
because
my
I kept
gosh.
rolling a 1.
Well, that's good because that's good.
No. Probably just a newer one. The same brand, just a newer one.
Like if you had the bolting 4,000, you just get the bolting 5,000.
Yeah. And probably
Got a nicer paint job.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some dog treats for Loki.
Yeah, cute.
That is very cute. Okay, well that was our little Christmassy Maplewood Academy adventure for our Christmas stream. That was us playing Kids on Brooms.
Yay.
Very rules light. There was a lot of winging it there.
It was good.
That was fun. I had a blast. Did you guys have fun?
Yes, I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, and
Yeah,
good,
The system.
good timing on the session too, Jill, because it is hard when it's so open to like keep it to a short time. So
Yeah, I think when I was planning it, I had in mind that we would have that, hi Kiwi!
Hi,
Oh,
Kiwi!
no.
You'll be able to watch it later. We'll put it up on YouTube, and it'll be on Twitch for like 2 weeks. So,
So when I was planning it, I basically had the idea of the tunnel, because that was something we came up with in our planning, and also that it would be like the final encounter, but it looked nothing like what happened. I had a wild beast that was trapped underground, and that was causing it to, like, it was trying to suck out energy from the surrounding, and it was going to get released back into the wild. That was my original idea. But when the focus kind of went on the tree, and I kind of came up with the roots thing, like that was all just
came up with it just then.
Yeah, like it was very much like we were coming up with it as we went. But I kept the idea of the final chamber. I knew I wanted a professor to be doing it, but I wasn't sure who. But the motivation was the same.
Right. Yeah.
So like trapping that animal there to help suck the magic out, kind of a situation. But
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
a
awesome.
lot of winging it, which was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it worked.
Not my
really
forte,
well.
but
You did
you know,
great.
getting better at it all the time.
I find that it always feels uncomfortable like that. And it's actually more uncomfortable on stream like this, because when you're just like hanging out in your house with your friends and you kind of blank on something, it's like not a big deal, right? So you're not, the pressure's not there, but I think you did great, and it didn't feel underprepared or anything like that. So it was awesome.
Perfect. That's what I was going for.
In person too, I've always heard the DM tip of, if you get really, really stuck, ask to take a 10-minute break so everyone can take like a quick snack, drink, bathroom break, whatever, and you can work on stuff.
Yeah.
On stream, I feel like that is a little harder too.
Yeah.
But we do work in breaks too, so it's like possible. It's possible to do.
And I think this system is very forgiving, because I didn't have to come up with everything. I would say, well, what does this cave look like? And then I was able to use bits of that in the storytelling, or things like that. Like I was able to ask more for you guys to tell me what's going on a little bit.
I know a DM used to do for Heroes and Adventurers, and he actually, like, in his just regular DMing, would always try to get input from the players. And
I think it is a good practice, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I found that too with Kids on Bikes. It really sparked my imagination. And I have this problem where if it's just blank slate, I can't come up with anything. But when you guys did like character creation and you come up with all these little ideas, it just kind of like happens. It just kind of forms. You know, your idea just sort of happens. So, yeah, I really like it. Yeah, awesome.
Well, happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
And thank you for streaming with us today. And thank you for watching.
Yes.
And for donating and all that for the for a very worthy podcast.
Yes.
Um,
I think what I'd like to do, Jill, we didn't get a lot of donations on this stream. We got one, actually, which is fine. Every little bit is great. But what I'd like to do is make a little social media post with a link to the donation page, and we'll cut it off at like a certain point, maybe tomorrow at 7:30. So that if anybody who wants to donate and get entered into that gift card draw can do so until tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Does that make sense?
I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can make a couple social media posts tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you want to reiterate what the gift card is for?
Yeah, so the gift card is a $25 gift card to Cape and Cowl Comics and Collectibles, which is a local nerdy gaming shop here. It's in Sackville, but it's like the HRM. And it's a local trans-run business, and that's what we're trying to do with this stream, is raise money and awareness for trans issues and support that community, unlike certain authors. Jay calls her she who must not be named.
Yeah, I think that's very appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks everybody for watching, and for those of you who donated, super helpful and appreciated. And thanks.
Thank you Jill, it was awesome, and thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Nancy. I loved having you both here, and you're wonderful to play with.
It was so fun to play with you.
Thanks.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.